Welcome to another Memphis Monday 197. Today we're going to be building a display case. Now you can use this display case for about anything. Trophies, mini helmet collections, teacups, golf balls, memorabilia of any kind. I'm building it for a friend of mine. I already built her one, but she's already filled it up. She didn't even think she needed the first one, and now it's already filled up. So we're going to go through that process today. We're not going to get anything done. We're not going to get any processes done unless we do what? Yep, we need to knock off the chit chat and get to work. We're going to use this trophy case right here as a prototype. Let's take a look at it. It's a split case design. One of the interesting features is that the door rests on the shelves, so there's no weight when things closed. There's no weight on the hinges. I've already cut out the stock for our piece, and you'll notice that I've already installed the trim. When we split the case, I'll cut it right down through on that trim. Now, one of the things you'll notice on the case here is that the front glass is curved. This is a little schematic of the top and bottom. It's 9 inches across the widest part, and it narrows to 8 inches at the end. So our radius lives in a circle with a diameter, our radius of 85 inches. So from that point down there, which is the center of the circle, and down here is our cord we're going to be cutting out. Let's see if it works. Okay, if our calculations are right, this should define our cord. Now we're going to be working on the sides. It's going to be another dado and rabbit extravaganza. We got put rabbits at the top and bottom of the side, and we have to put rabbits or dados for the shelves. We're concentrating on one piece here, and that's the sides. They're 8 inches wide, no curve. There's a 1/8 inch rabbit on the front, 1/4 inch rabbit on the back, and then a 3/4 inch rabbit on the top, 3/4 inch rabbit on the bottom, and then 3 dados in the middle that are 7 inches apart. Here's a practice piece. Basically it's a rabbit that goes almost all the way through, and then the bottom and the top will sit in that rabbit like that, and then it'll be nailed this way, and it'll be at the bottom of the top, and you won't see the nails. I made a test run of the dado in my piece of scrap here, and this looks like it's going to work. Since these are the shelves, and I want them to be a little loose in there so you can take them in and put them out. Yeah, I've got the dado set up where all I got to do is line up that line right with this edge here, and that will put my dado right through there. Okay, now we're going to put the rabbit to receive the back. The rabbit is 1/4 inch deep and 3/8 inch wide. Now I just said that the depth of the rabbit was 1/4 inch and the width was 3/8. But when you run the board through sideways like this, they're reversed on your saw. I want the blade to be up 3/8 of an inch, and the spacing between the sacrificial fence and the outside of my dado set to be 1/4 of an inch. Got it all mocked up here. Make sure I got all the dados and rabbits right. Those shelves right there aren't, those are just placeholders. The real shelves are going to be curved on the front, just like the top and bottom. Speaking of the top and bottom, that's what we got to do now. We got to cut this radius around here and then put a rabbet on the inside of that radius to receive the curved glass. Okay, I'm putting glue in the joint here. You saw me cutting that that rabbet, that curved rabbet. Now we're going to glue the case up. I don't have to worry about expansion and contraction and all that business because it's all made out of plywood. I have my pressure set at about 85. Some store-bought oak trim, and I've actually had to clamp it on because it won't bend on that radius. I want to install this trim to where there's no gap here between the glass and the trim. You know, it's a fine detail, but you know, it's important. So let me show you how I'm achieving that. So to get that trim to fit flush against the glass, I need to fine tune this edge right here, where the edge is the top of that side right there is equal or parallel with that radius. And I'm doing that with a sander, and this is 40 grit paper. And I can sand it in the feel and see how close I am. Flat side's much easier. Really, this is more than a lid. It's really about 1/3 of the case opens up, and then when you close it, it actually folds right down on those shelves. Here you can see those dados, and the shelves slide into those dados, so that when the box is closed, there's no weight on the hinges. Well, you just saw me cutting the trim for it's going to go on the shelves. This is the stock for the shelves, and I'm going to use my placeholder here as a template, but I have to cut about 1/4 inch off the end down here because I have to make up for the saw cut that we made here on the case when we split the case, and I also have to make up for the felt, and I also have to make up for the thickness of the trim. Now I need to cut this 1/4 inch strip off the end here, but the problem is it's curved up here at the top. So how you solve that dilemma is by using a straightening jig. What you do is take a straight board and you rig it up on there. You dog it down with in this case I'm using screws, but if it's a finished piece you're trimming down, you can use some dogs. So now my straight edge has been is taken up for that curve right there. Now I just put my straight edge against the fence and cut off the part I need to cut off. Now I can just take my template and lay it on my stock for my shelves and line it up down here at the bottom. I put the trim on there. Let's see if it works. What I did is I rounded over the corners a little bit on both ends. Let's try it now. Perfect. I got those shelves done, and over here I put a little finish on the case. I didn't put any finish on the bottom there because we're going to be putting some felt in. Let's talk about that. It's been so long since I made one of these, I forgot what the best way to cut this felt is. I want to say I discovered the best way was with scissors, but I'm going to try to cut it with a razor blade. the shelves in it, see what it looks like. This is actually one of the fun parts of it here, taking the protective film off. I added that tape too, but I don't want to get finished, get on the glass. Let's set it up and take a look at it. Well, there's our little trophy case for Memphis Monday 197. It's built to be mounted to the wall. Well, that'll do it for another Memphis Monday 197. Building a display case. I think it turned out pretty good. The only mistake I made in it, or just foul up, is I didn't do a very good job putting that felt in, but I'll have to do some. Right now the poly's still wet on it. I'm gonna try to repair that. That felt a little bit, but other than that, it came out pretty good. I like the oak. It's all oak, oak plywood and oak trim and oak case, and so 100% oak. Well, anyway, make sure you comment and like and favorite and all the stuff you do on the internet. Most important, make sure you're back here next week for another exciting Memphis Monday. Thanks for playing along.